Today we are talking about a touch of love that is needed. A touch of love. This church is the first church that decided to go through this series. I don't know how many of you, but before I came, there's a certain amount of you that went through this book called Amazing Disciples, Powerful Keys to Personal Evangelism, in lieu of the series. Now, what you read on paper and studied in class, in a prayer meeting circle, I want to put flesh and bones on it today, what it looks like out in the street. It's kind of like we can learn how to fly an airplane in class. We can go through all the procedures, and this lever does this, and you got to check that and make sure, but it's nothing like actually flying. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And so you probably remember these chapters. I'm not going to list all of them, but the Divine Commission. Or maybe Christ's method alone gives true success. He went about seeking to help people, putting personal effort towards them. He met their needs and bade them follow me. We also, in this book, has a chapter about reclaiming missing members. Why aren't they here? Has anybody checked on them? Or once they leave, well, I guess that's their decision. Are we concerned? They're part of the family. We're talking about friendship evangelism. I don't know if you're like me, but I know when people are sincerely interested versus just being paid to feel that way. Have you ever went to a store or a clinic or a doctor's office? Oh, hi, so glad you came. Now, I'm not against smiles or courtesies, but I'm against cheesy flattery. I like sincerity. Do you really care about me? Are you really interested, or are you just being paid to do that? How do people perceive us? Are we just trying to be friendly to get them to go to church? Are we friendly because God is in my heart? So today, if there ever was, folks, a touch of love that's desperately needed, the world outside of these doors is on life support. I mean, they're in critical condition. So many people need a touch. A touch of love that they're just, if somebody would bring it. A genuine interest, concern that they matter. All around us are people who need that, but are we in tune with God? Are we in tune with God, or are we so busy about our own, you need to get out of the way so I keep doing what I'm doing? Are we concerned? Are we in tune? If we're not in tune with God, we're not going to see the needs or be able to help. And so if we're in tune with God, He can point us, He can inspire us, He can whisper us, Brother Rob, I want you to talk to that person. I know that it doesn't look like on appearances that they would listen, but I want you to speak to them about my love. I want you to help them. They're in critical condition. They need a touch of love. Would you help me? It's critical mass. There's an old saying, many of you remember it, people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. Do you really care? I mean, we get cliche type ways of talking and dealing with one another. It's kind of surface. How are you? I'm fine. How about you? Well, I'm fine too. But I don't know anything about you, and I've been coming to this church for 16 years. You still fine? I'm still fine. Have a good day. Really, I'm not fine. Really, there's trouble in my heart. I wished I could help by releasing it. Somebody would pray with me, but I'm afraid if I told you that you'd tell somebody else and they'd gossip about me, and so I'm not going to say nothing. There are people in this church today that need this touch, as well as the people on the outside. They've been encasing themselves, but they're dying. So many need the touch of love. We show people that they matter if we give them what kind of attention? Full attention. You know what that is? It's not this. Here's my phone. What's that, son? You said you want to talk? Well, just a second. Yeah, right. I got it. Sure. Okay. Am I giving my full attention? So what that means to that son, you don't measure up and you're not that important. Something else is more important. Maybe we're having dinner together and I'm having a conversation and the phone rings, and unless it's an emergency, somehow that trumped our conversation. I must not be that important. We do that to one another. Imagine if we gave our full attention, tuned everything out, and really listen. Listening. That's a dying art. Being able to engage and make a difference, a real difference. You know, folks, we come here, brothers and sisters. We sing songs and we return our tithes and we fellowship, have potluck, but really this is the huddle. This is, the football game we got to make a few plays and score the touchdown, and so we've got to huddle each week and make a plan so that when we go back out into the world, we've been energized, encouraged, and ready with our antennas up. Is there anyone I could give a touch of love to today? Or is my schedule so full that God's going to have to use someone else? Because we are blessed when we are a channel of love to others. Would you agree with that? John 17:3 says, and this is life eternal. If you want to boil it down to its basic component, this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent. Now, do you know Jesus? You just know about Jesus. That's a big difference, folks. Do you communicate with Jesus? You pray to Jesus? Do you ask him like a friend, talking with a friend, or is he more the emergency chord? When trouble happens, that's when we speak to him. A lot of people are going to hear those cryptic words that Jesus says when he comes back. I don't know you. Hope that that's said of me or you. We can make a lot of noise, but we weren't in tune. We don't know Jesus, or if we did, it would be a difference. We'd be transformed. If we really know Jesus, our lives would be much different. This world around us is sinking. It's a sinking ship. And you and I are the lifeline. I can't imagine when the Titanic was sinking, how much that must have felt. How many people needlessly died because in our little rowboats is plenty of room. Why aren't we rescuing it? Why? We're talking about friendship evangelism today. It's not hard to make new friends. I've come here not knowing any of you, never met any of you, except by phone, a couple of you, and we become fast friends, right? I was hoping you'd say amen. Doesn't take long to develop connections. It's wonderful to be united in a cause together. What's this look like? Well, I love tomatoes. I love fresh gardens, green beans, sweet corn. I just love it all. But there's a process, isn't there? Somebody had to prepare the soil, plant the seed and pray and watch as this little blade comes up. Cultivate the weeds. There's some time that's invested, and finally we get these little green rows and these shoots, and by mid-August, that's so good. It takes time. People take time. We can't expect them to overnight just accept things, and we plant seeds, we water, we love. We let God, what does it say in the Scriptures? Some plant and some water, but God gives the increase. We cooperate with God in bringing people into the kingdom. It says Jesus was a master of reaching the human heart. That's where he's aiming. Regardless of his or her background. You're the janitor, it's okay. You didn't finish school, doesn't matter to me. You're the president, that's fine. Didn't matter the background. Every person walked away feeling respected, loved, and valued by him. Jesus gave his full attention. And people just soaked it up. Knew their names. Talked to them. A touch of love needed. Jesus saw in every soul, so he doesn't limit this, in everyone, in every soul, one to whom must be given the call to his kingdom. He reached the hearts of the people by going among them as one who desired their good. Sometimes I have to check my motives. We have selfish hearts. Why am I doing what am I doing? Is it for the right motives because I love God and want to help, or is my selfishness getting in the way? He desired their good. Do we desire people's good? Or what can we gain from the situation? He sought them in the public streets, in private houses, on the boats, in the synagogue or the church, by the shores of the lake, and at the marriage feast. He met them at their daily vocations and manifested an interest in their secular affairs. Jesus is interested in what's going on. What kind of boat they had, and how many fish they caught, and the names of the people on the boat, and their families, and their kids, and man, this guy's a lot different than those Pharisees and scribes. I might join the church if they were more like him. I just randomly picked this sign. Nothing special about it or the name. That's not the point that I'm making. But we have the concept of not being involved. We hope that people will come to us. Don't they see the sign? Don't they see the time? We put it out there. Why aren't they here? Is that Jesus' method? Put up a sign at Galilee? Jesus is 3 blocks down or the left, and is that how he worked? Waiting for folks to show up where he was at? No, it's not how he worked. The Gospel Commission is the great missionary charter of Christ's kingdom. The disciples were to work, how? Earnestly for souls, not half-heartedly, giving to all the attention of mercy. Invitation of mercy. They were not to wait for the people to come to them. They were to go to the people with their message. Didn't Jesus say, go, preach the good news? He didn't say, go sit and wait. Go, teach and preach and move. Forward motion. He carried his instruction to the household, bringing families in their homes under the influence of his divine presence. His strong personal sympathy helped to win hearts. He got involved. He didn't just talk about it. He did things. His strong personal sympathy. We're talking about friendship evangelism. We're getting outside of the classroom today. We've been sitting in the classroom. We don't need more Bible knowledge. We need more practical application. How to apply. How do we apply what we've learned? Jesus makes people feel how? Folks, we don't have to try harder. It's not about trying harder. It's about letting Jesus use you as a channel to bless those around you. But if our antennas aren't up, in tune with Him, you're not going to experience this flow of love transmitting to you so you can transmit it to someone else. I hope this is making sense. When Jesus came to the place, you remember Zacchaeus was up in the tree, short-statured fella. His own people didn't want anything to do with him because he was a tax collector. But he's been, listening to Jesus here and there. I'd like to see him. He's different than these other people. Jesus is walking along. And what does it say? He looked up and saw him and said unto him, he calls him by name. He knows who I am. Zacchaeus, make haste, come down. I want to eat at your house today. Eating together was very important. What does that interchange with Jesus and Zacchaeus cause Zacchaeus to do? Zacchaeus scrambles down out of the tree. Lord, I'm giving half of what I ever have to the poor. And if I have wronged any man, I'm restoring it fourfold. And Jesus says today, salvation has come to this house. Jesus makes people feel special. Now, some of us, including myself, I don't always remember people's names. And sometimes I try to cheat. What do I mean by that? I see a pair of coveralls with a name on it. Oh, good. Whew. Jack, how you doing today? I'm not Jack. This is my friend's coveralls. Oh. Knowing someone's name means that you care enough to remember. We could learn a lot from this one story of just remembering a person's name. It's important. We should work on that. Be the person that makes others feel special. Be known for your kindness and understanding. Calling them up. Wishing them a happy birthday. I haven't talked to you in a while. I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you. Whatever it is that's not flattery but sincerity, the world is starving to death for something. Some little morsel that means something. We have young people today committing suicide. Why? They got their whole lives in front of them. They're not getting enough love. And they sink away and we just wonder, kind of make excuses. Simple acts to make people feel special. We don't have to do great big things. It's the little things that Jesus did that made the big difference. I put this picture up to make a point. We sometimes will look at a person and go, boy, rough. When I see this picture, I see someone who says, I'm going to get attention, whether it's negative, even if it's negative. At least it's better than no attention at all. And we sometimes judge and pass by, and people drowning for attention. These are God's children. Starving to death. Are we in tune? Are we there to give personal, full attention, to help, to at least pray? Lord, help me to know what to do. It's none of my affair. That's their choice. And God says, I wanted to use you, but I guess I have to go use someone else. Are we going to receive commendation from the King of Kings that we're off the hook because we were just too busy? Is God going to let us into His kingdom because we had many more important affairs to take care of? I don't think we'll be going in. Things haven't changed, ladies and gentlemen. Things have not changed. We aren't saved because we have the right ideas, or we're with the right group, or we do everything that we're supposed to do correctly. Jesus could not penetrate this pride and self-sufficiency, lack of sympathy, lack of love and encouragement. They weren't getting it. These people weren't providing it. Instead of building bridges, they built walls. Oh, you're from that clan? You're a dog. I mean, they're so prejudiced against their brothers, the Samaritans, that if a Samaritan passed by and their shadow went over their plate of food, they'd throw their food out. Is that prejudiced or what? Wow. Lost. Totally. Jesus comes along and just shatters these thoughts. So, this picture here, most of us, we're raised in the United States, we pull up everything by our own bootstraps. I don't need any help from anybody. Kind of raised that way, some of us. Self-sufficient. The next time you need something, and the next time someone offers to help you, I want you to say, thank you. I appreciate that. Let the blessings flow, folks. The person who gave gets blessed. You receive a blessing. But often we think of, if I take that, I'm obligated to help back or do something. And all of that is lost because of our self-sufficiency. We need to receive things from our brothers and sisters. Thank you. Yes, I will take that. Let's not have so much pride that we can't receive blessings that people want to give us. Let the blessings flow. Now, we've been talking night by night about different subjects at this series. I hope people have seen Jesus in it all, because it's really none of these other subjects are going to matter if we don't have Jesus at the center of it. Jesus needs to be in our message, in our attitudes, in our relationships, in how we carry ourselves. People are watching, looking, feeling, is this genuine or is there some ulterior motive? Do we treat people nice because they come and then we don't because they don't come? I mean, that's not the way we do things. Regardless if people decide to follow or not, we are supposed to be like Jesus. Here is a lesson for all our ministers and our call porters. Those are people who sell religious books and missionary workers. When you meet those who, like Nathanael, can any good come out of Nazareth? Certainly there is no Messiah can come from Nazareth. When you meet those who, like Nathanael, are prejudiced, how many think there's prejudice against our church? Oh, yeah. When we meet people like that, who are prejudiced against the truth, do not urge your peculiar views too strongly. Pull out the bazooka gun. Let me tell you about the mark of the beast and the state of the dead and the 2300. And they're just like, whoa. Don't urge your peculiar views too strongly. God is in full control. He's asking you to come along and maybe water that seed, maybe in the 8 different steps of a person giving their heart to Jesus, you're one of those steps, but you're not all 8. So let's be careful. Talk with them at first on subjects of which you can agree with. Common ground. At first, let's do that. What else? Bow with them in prayer and in humble faith. Present your petitions at the throne of grace. Here's the right way to do it, and I would say here's the wrong way to do it. The right way, or I should say the wrong way, is this way. Here's the wrong way, and then we'll do it the right way. Now, I want you to keep praying, but I want you to see the difference in how we pray when someone is with us. Here's the wrong way. Brother Jared is with me today, Lord, and he needs your help. He's such a sorry case. And I pray that you would pour out your Spirit on him and bless him, and I hope he can make it. And I know he's got a lot of problems, and Lord, please bless him. Send all the angels from heaven. I don't know if they'll all be able to help, but please send them now. And Jared's like, wow. What if we did it this way? Lord, I'm so thankful we have the privilege of prayer. Brother Jared and I are sinners today, and we're needing your help. We both have things in our lives that we'd like to change, and so I'm asking that you would send your Spirit to help us. Heal us, Lord. Help us to receive that touch of love from your throne. In Jesus' name, amen. You see the difference? We're like Daniel. Daniel's this beautiful character of a person. And what does he say in his prayer to God about his people? Lord, we have sinned. We have fallen short. We. And Daniel's innocent. But he's praying, not those poor rascals over there are all in trouble and I've been following you, so what? No. It's not how Daniel prayed. Both you and they will be brought into a close connection with heaven. Prejudice will be weakened, and it will be easier to reach the heart. Find things we have in common. Pray with them. Personalize it. Show personal sympathy. This is an actual picture of my granddaughter. She's getting old fast. You know how granddaughters, she's already 2. Every soul is surrounded by an atmosphere. We all have this little atmosphere. An atmosphere may be charged with the life-giving power of faith and courage and hope, sweet with the fragrance of love. So some of us have that atmosphere that's surrounding us, while others may be heavy and chilled with the gloom of discontent, self-centered selfishness, poisoned with the deadly taint of cherished sin. So we all have an atmosphere. And by that atmosphere surrounding us, every person who we come in contact with is consciously or unconsciously affected. Are you a drippy faucet around everybody else? Is that your atmosphere where people are like, huh? Or when you come into the room, it brightens. You offer courage, hope, a touch of love. Not rocket science, but this is God's calling us as His ambassadors to come up higher, friend. God's eternal kingdom is going to come to a close as probation closes. It's too late now. I wanted to witness to my neighbors, and I just never did. It happened when he was in a certain city, that behold, a man who was full of leprosy. That means it's full blown. It's not just a little scab here and there. You see, he meets this leper. He saw Jesus, fell on his face, implored him, please help me. Lord, if you're willing, you can, what can he do? Make me, if you're willing. You can do it. Now, Jesus could have done this, folks. Be thou clean, leper. Couldn't he have done that? Leprosy, leave the man. Jesus doesn't do that. This man has had leprosy that's full blown. He's on critical life support. Nobody has touched this man for many, many years. I'm sure of it. And Jesus, what does he do? He put his hand and touched him. Didn't have to. He doesn't have to touch him, but he did. That's what love does. And that's what you'll do and I'll do if Jesus is in us. We'll see the moment as Jesus did. I wonder how it was when you met Jesus, coming through the crowd and introducing himself. I can see Jesus, we shake hands, how are you? I'm fine. And kind of shake each other's hand. He probably took your hand and thanked you. Oh, I'm so glad you came. I wish that I could have seen how he greeted people. What did he do? Was it different? I'm willing, be cleansed. And immediately the leprosy left him. A touch of love so desperately needed. I want to tell you a story. We're putting flesh and bones, muscle, the sinew, on the classroom. Now, I'm not saying, folks, that I am the master of understanding this. I miss opportunities all the time. I'm just like you in a work in process. My wife as well. We don't always do what we're supposed to do. But I'm asking you to think about it today. Story was with my wife. I'm in Sacramento, Roseville, California, 3-month class to become an evangelist. I'm 55 years old. Lord, if you want me to do this, you're going to have to, I'll just put myself down there, and if you want me to be there, and if they choose me to be an evangelist, that's great, but then I can go back to doing what I want to do. And lo and behold, less than a week's time, they chose 3 of us, 2 young guys, and how my friends like to address me there was, you're the coolest old guy we know. So I'm in class. I get a text from my wife. My wife is on her way down, because it was 3 months, to visit me down there, and she's jumping on a jet from Spokane to Seattle down to California. She boards the jet, and she's a little late. She has the window seat, and she has to kind of climb around the lady that's in the aisle, Stacy. My wife's Tracy, lady now is Stacy. Joe's in the middle. Nobody knows anybody. They sit down, chit-chat, small talk. They find out that Joe in the middle is a veteran. It's Veterans Day. Well, Joe, thank you for your service. Thank you for your willingness to serve. Thank you. Chit-chat back and forth. It's life support. Joe's on life support, and things start coming out. Joe tells them he's on his way to Seattle because he thinks in 2 or 3 weeks he'll probably be dead. Aggressive cancer that's overtaken his body, and he hopes this treatment's going to work. Whoa. That's not all. What else? The mother of his adult children has just been killed in a car accident. He's alone because of COVID. Going to the VA, nobody can go with him. He's all alone. What to do? What to say? Stacy says this, Joe, I want you to know I'm sending you good vibes. Good vibes. Good vibes. That's not helpful. This much help, folks. 0 help. Joe needs more than good vibes. That's the easy way out of being involved. Sending you good vibes, good luck, have a good life. My wife can't let that go with just that. And so she tells Joe, Joe, I have found prayer to be helpful. She just sows this little seed. I found prayer to be helpful. You're going through some difficult things. It isn't long before she's texting me, honey, pray. I don't know what to say, what to do. this person needs help. I don't know what to do. Plane takes off. I pray. Of course, I don't know what's going on. Spokane to Seattle, short flight. They kind of doze off, and about halfway through the flight, he kind of awakens. And my wife continues to engage with him. Now, remember, Joe has just lost the mother of his children in a bad car wreck. He himself is going because he doesn't know if he's going to survive this treatment. And so, my wife's praying what to do for Joe. Fortunately, she had stuffed in her bag 2 books, Steps to Christ. As she engages with Joe, she starts to relate to him how this book has helped her in her dealings with the trials and tribulations of life, and she sincerely offers it to him. He's weighing my wife. He's been speaking rather coarsely, but he's weighing my wife's intentions, motivations. I'll take that. My wife, starts to ask him about his kids. How old are they? What do they do? Engaging, showing personal interest. What kind of cancer is it? Because now, as she has a little information under her belt, instead of just saying a general prayer, Lord, bless those people in the other side of the world, and I hope they make it. I don't know about general prayers. I'm not opposed to them in the sense that when we don't know what to pray for, but how much better to say, I want to pray for this individual so that when you answer, we can praise you. How do we know if God answered if I pray for some island in the middle of nowhere? We can't tell if it's even answered. He tells her the names of his children, the issues, the cancer. And now it's time to engage. So, my wife, as she does this, is fighting a little bit because she's married to me. And here she's holding someone else's hand, a man's hand about him. He has a relationship, of course, and she's with me, but not asking you people to do this. I'm only asking you to do what God tells us to do. This is exactly how she was holding Joe's hand. And through the tears in his eyes, as she's praying, as she opens her eyes, no audible sound coming out of his mouth, but he's saying, thank you. Thank you. I mean, over and over. Thank you. They get off the plane, exchange numbers. Every year, Veterans Day and different times, he calls. He's still alive. Wow. Good vibes? See you later? Good luck? Or thank you. A touch of love needed in today's society. What happened when someone was diagnosed with leprosy? Have you understood what that looks like, folks? This is a mess. You don't want anything to do with it in our natural understanding of things. I mean, these people are rough. All the digits in their hands have rotted off. Your face is melting away. Jesus touched him. And you get to do this the rest of your life. Imagine if one of us in the congregation got leprosy. You got to leave, and this is what you got to say for the rest of your life. You got to wander around the streets of Salem, unclean, unclean, and you don't get no special touch from nobody. It's terrible. But Jesus touches the guy. Are we willing to go where he leads? How about a supernatural superpower of a hug? I really think that we live in a day and age, unfortunately, that people take advantage of this. I'm not talking about men who take advantage of these things and try to hug women, and that's not cool. I really think in a hug, a genuine hug, side hug my brother, there's medicine that's being applied from a hug. From a genuine interest. Brother, I'm praying for you. We all need medicine of this sort. Tell you another story. Mike's my friend. I haven't known him very long. I move up to Tri-Cities from Eastern Oregon to be closer to my wife's mom because she's aging. I have a book of business as an Aflac rep, and I really like my book of business. I've kind of developed this, and I just go to these different places, and people sign up for Aflac, and my wife helps them with claims, and this is really going good. I moved to Tri-Cities, Washington. They give me a new book. Mike's our regional coordinator. Mike's been with Aflac for 20 years. I've just barely met him. I like Mike, a nice guy. 3 or 4 months go in, it's time to have a special meeting. I wonder what's up. He tells us all he's lost his job with Aflac. He's been terminated, so to speak. Devastates him. I can tell he's crushed. I can tell he's not just going to bounce back. I have been taught through the Bible and other things that when people go through hard things, death of a family member, loss of a job, severe illness, that the window opens a little bit for them to maybe listen to spiritual things. And so I'm thinking, Mike, as I see him crying and really just broken, Mike, I said, I think something would help. Why don't we every morning Bible study? It'll help you through this tough time. You know, Rob, I think that's a good idea. Let's do that. We're an hour apart. Every morning. Every morning, folks. 6 o'clock, we're on Zoom. We start going through the Bible together. We do all those amazing facts Bible studies. Every single one of them, we go through that. We read the Great Controversy together. We watch Hal Holbrook and the Seventh-day Sabbath. We do this, we do that. And in the middle of this, about 3 months in, I'm so glad I lost my job. But at the moment, he was sinking. I don't see any way out. I could have said to him at that meeting, Mike, good vibes. See you later. Would that have helped? Was it a sacrifice for me to get up every morning at 5:30 and prepare for a Zoom meeting for 6 months? Yeah, a little bit of an investment. After 6 months, the whiskey bottles disappeared. No more going out with his friends, being baptized in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. You and I communicate, and how much are we communicating? If 93% of it is nonverbal, what are we communicating? When you're helping someone and you roll your eyes, you might as well go home. You just need to stop and go home. Imagine if I was preaching and I was It would communicate something. Or if I was like this and never moved, it communicates things. My body language communicates. How am I communicating? When I'm out in the fray, how am I communicating? How are you communicating? Go to your neighbors one by one and come close to them. That takes a little bit of me getting out of my comfort zone. Come close to them till their hearts are warmed by your unselfish interest and love. That's not very common today to find that. What can we do? How hard is it to bake a loaf of bread when we found out something happened, something tangible? Maybe they're, have some terrible disease like cancer, and we can go and pray with them and come close to them and encourage them. Or what are we going to do? I just wanted to stop by and give you some good vibes. I remember over in the Vale, Seventh Adventist Church, after the sermon, well, we'd get 5 or 6 of us together. We'd go to the nursing home, and I can't sing very good, and I didn't want to throw them all off. And I don't play either, but I love connecting with folks. And so they'd be singing and playing, and I'd be walking around and holding these people, touching them. They haven't been touched, I could tell, because when they got a hold of my hand and I tried to leave, where are you going, Sonny? You just got here. Did that cost me much? No. Just beaming. We'd bring little kids and they would be touching and we'd be singing Jesus songs and heaven was so happy. Invite a guest that comes to church to come home. Ask questions that reveal your genuine interest. Genuine interest. Listen, so that you know how to respond. I remember doing a series of meetings, and a gentleman was a fisherman, and over on the ocean was the meetings, and I remember there was a gentleman in the church who was a big fisherman. And so guess what I tried to do? Get these two folks together, these common interests, and then we can share what God has done for us. Now, I'm going to share something that will help you if it doesn't come naturally to share. It's called FORT. You who went through this probably remember it. Family. Talk about their family. Everybody wants to talk about their family. What they do, their occupation. What kind of religion do they have? And then you can share your testimony. It's called FORT. F-O-R-T. Family, occupation, religion, testimony. So when it comes to family, are you originally from the Salem area? Were you raised here? No, I was raised over in little old Vale. Is most of your family nearby? No. They were all killed in the genocide over in Rwanda in the 90s. Really? We ask questions. We understand better. What kind of work do you do? I'm a logger. What type of training is required for this occupation? Maybe it's Boeing. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. Well, I had to go to school. My dad was a carpenter. I just followed in his footsteps. How long have you worked there? 30 years. Wow, that's faithfulness. You're looking for ways to connect. Common ground. Now, some of us are over-enthusiastic in asking questions. And people can perceive us as if we're the undercover FBI. What city are you from? What are you doing here? How many kids do you have? You follow me? Easy. Slow it down. We're just looking for common points. This is not a grilling. Do you like that when somebody does that to you? Then don't do it to them. Do you have a spiritual background? Religion. We're giving them room. We're not putting them in a box. Do you have a spiritual background? That's a big, wide open question. Do you find much time to attend church in the area? We're putting flesh and bones on the classroom. Do you find much time to attend church? No, I'm so busy. My dad, he was killed in an accident. That last year, I've had to take over the business. I'm just swamped. Have you been a Catholic or a Baptist or a Muslim all your life? I was born a Baptist boy. I'm a Baptist. I've been that way all my life. You find out things. My grandma was a Seventh-day Adventist. She used to go to this church. Really? You're learning. You're finding these common points. Now you can share your testimonies. You get related. You understand. You can share what God has done for you. An opportunity to bridge into a more personal, spiritual conversation. Have you read this verse in Matthew 9? Truly the harvest is from east to west. It's as far as I can see. But boy, it'd sure be nice if somebody would come by and help. Laborers is the problem today. I got too much to do, brother. I'm out. People come to a series of meetings. Not everybody's ready. But we bring them closer to Jesus. We find out if they're ripe fruit, and some are. And some are ready. And some are green, and we need to keep that going. And so what do we do with people who aren't ready? Well, we call them bridge events. Cooking schools. Show them how to eat healthy, maybe. Family life weekends and bringing marriage conferences. Lots of marriages are in trouble. We have maybe sacred concerts at wintertime and Christmas, and we'd love you to come. Bring your family. We warm them with our love and interest. Dinner with a doctor. Maybe, doctors cost a lot of money, and people can come and learn and deliver a plant-based meal, and they've always had this prejudice thinking that all you could eat was carrots and peas, and you produce these wonderful plant-based meals, and like, wow, that was so tasty. And I mean, it's good for me too? Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Flea markets. You guys have the fairgrounds each year, have a little booth. People come by and you talk to them and maybe pray with them and help them. And these are ways in which we can get people connected. So this weekly challenge is not the weekly challenge that I'm going to give for you because it's too much. It says here, meet 2 families in your neighborhood or deepen pre-existing relationship with families on your street, bake a loaf of bread, bring them cookies, invite them to your home. The only thing I want to change on that is I just want you to focus on one single, solitary human being that you can genuinely make special interest on them. We all have people in our sphere of influence that need a touch of love. Do we not know people that need that? You could write someone a letter, phone someone, tell them you miss them at church. This could be in the own family, mother and daughter. It could be between spouses, a touch of love needed. It can be whoever it should be. One single person I want you to focus on. Forget about you. Forget about me. Lord, press into my mind who needs a touch of love from me. Pray for ways that God can use you to reach their heart. That's the place we're aiming for. Look for opportunities to share your quick testimony. Seek to minister their needs. Be intentional about doing this very week. Imagine how quickly the gospel could go to the ends of the earth if every Christian home were a mission center. How much different it would be. I wonder what the church would look like. Jesus dwelling in you desires to speak to the hearts of those who are not acquainted with him. Did you see that? Jesus is hoping you'll agree. There are many, many who need the ministration of loving Christian hearts. Many have gone down to ruin. That's not good. Who might have been saved if That's a big word. If what? If their neighbors, common men and women like you and me, had put forth personal effort. Many go to ruin. Many are waiting to be personally addressed in the very family, folks. I wasn't joking. In the family, the neighborhood, the town where we live, there's a work for us to do as missionaries. If we are Christians, think about that. If we really are Christians, this work will be our delight. If you're truly a Christian, it's going to be a delight, because no sooner is one converted than is born in the heart a desire to make known to others what a precious friend we found in Jesus. The saving, sanctifying truth cannot be shut up in the heart. If you don't have that desire, as this statement says, I'm just going to suggest that you spend more time with Jesus. This is my friend Kim Kerr. I'm almost done. Evangelists like myself. What's wrong with this picture, folks? These are church members at an evangelistic crusade. Where is everybody? I've got lots to do.